This is question 9 from the 2022 reserve paper for A2 Pure Maths from CCEA. So let's take a wee look at what's been asked. So show that x plus 3 is a factor of 2x cubed plus 11x squared plus 12x minus 9. This is really just an AS question. So we're going to let f of x equal 2x cubed plus 11x squared plus 12x minus 9. And using the factor theorem, that means if we work out then f of minus 3, if it is a factor, it should equal 0. So that's going to be 2 upon minus 27 plus 11 upon 9 plus 12 upon minus 3 minus 9. And sure enough, if you substitute that in, you do indeed get 0. So therefore, x plus 3 is a factor. On then to part 2, so a 15 marker here. Hence find the integral of this. So this bottom here, the denominator is the same as kind of what we had, and we know x plus 3 as a factor. So if we do a long division, we can start to see then kind of what's happening. So let's do that to start with, and we'll then take it from there. So I'm going to substitute in then sort of x plus 3, divide this. 2x cubed plus 11x squared plus 12x minus 9. X times what gives me 2x cubed? Well, it's going to be 2x squared. And then times this by this gives me 2x cubed plus 6x squared. I then subtract this and bring it down, so it's saying kind of 5x squared, and I'm going to bring down then the 12x. X times what gives me 5x squared, so that's going to be plus 5x. 5x times this, 5x squared plus 15x, and that then gives me minus 3x, and I bring down that. X into this then is minus 3. Minus 3 times this, of course, then minus 3x minus 9. And we're expecting 0 then because it's a factor. That means this denominator can be rewritten then as x plus 3 upon 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. And then it can be written as then x plus 3. And then we want to factorize this. And again, you can take my word for it. You get 2x minus 1 upon x plus 3. So that x plus 3 actually appears twice then as a factor. So it's actually x plus 3 all squared upon 2x minus 1. So that means our question then can become the integral of x squared plus 3x plus 35 all over 2x minus 1 x plus 3 all squared. And so it looks like we're about to jump into partial fractions here. So let's see where we go from there. So if I turn over the page here and write this, so we're going to have x squared plus 3x plus 35 all over x plus 3 all squared upon 2x minus 1. I'm just going to change pencils here for something a wee bit sharper. And that then would be a, not badly, x plus 3 plus b. This is a repeated factor, remember, so it's x plus 3 all squared plus c upon 2x minus 1. And there's a couple of different things. You can kind of find your common denominator kind of along the bottom here and work out, or just work out whether you multiply a by, b by and c by to kind of get this. But I'm going to leap then to the next line. Hopefully you're comfortable with this. So we need to multiply a by an x plus 3 and a 2x minus 1. I need to multiply b by 2x minus 1, and I need to multiply c by an x plus 3 squared. And I'm substituting that into there. So I'm going to first of all let x equal minus 3. If I let x equal minus 3, I get 9 minus 9. So I just get 35. And obviously letting equal to minus 3 means this disappears, and minus 3 here, so I get minus 7b. So that gives me then b is minus 5. If I let x equal to a half, this gets a wee bit messy here, but if you substitute a half into here, you can write it a load of different ways, but it comes out, you can take my word for it, to be 147 over 4. And if you substitute the half in here, that disappears, that disappears. So if a half, so 3.5, which is 7 over 2, which is then is 49 over 4. And that's a c. The 4's kind of cancel and the c goes in, so it gives me a c equals 3. To work out the a, you can do it a couple of different things. You can let x equal to 0 and substitute it in. I'm going to compare coefficients of x squared. So here we're going to have a 1. Here we're going to have a 2a. There's no x squared term there. And then plus c. That's then going to give me, the 3 is going to go in there, turn to a minus 2. So my a then comes out to be a minus 1. So now we're actually finding the integral of minus 1 over x plus 3 minus 5 over x plus 3 all squared plus 3 over 2x minus 1 dx. This here is going to be an ln function. This here is going to be an ln function. This here we need to muck around with a little bit. So we have this, so it's going to be minus ln x plus 3. This one here is effectively 5x plus 3 to the minus 2. So I'm going to add 1 to the power to make it into kind of a minus 1. And sort of, the 1 there kind of comes to the front, but the 5 just stays there. So I end up with